And God commanded Adam, only Adam, because he created Eve way after he created Adam. So he commanded Adam not to eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. In other words, God commanded him, do not exchange words with Satan. Adam obeyed God's command, and he never exchanged words with him. Because if he does, seed of evil would have taken place in Adam, which can bring destruction upon him. Then God created Eve, and she did the opposite. In chapter 3, Satan asked her to find out how much she knows about him, or about the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So he asked her, Hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And she replied back, and as soon as she opened her mouth to exchange words, seed of evil took place within her. And then she goes on, and said, We can eat fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden we shall not eat or touch, lest we die. So she never knew about Satan, or tree of knowledge of good and evil. That's how she got deceived. Friends, words have so much power in them. If word of God gives you life, so as evil words can destroy your life. In the book of Proverbs, God said, Pleasant words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. God bless you all.
You for judgment.
With your permission, my lord.
Speak.
Apollo sees everything. Perhaps it is not wise to offend him.
Huh? Warn the men. Wait.
I knew they would come for you. Long before you were born. I knew they would come. They want you to fight in Troy. I'm making you another seashell necklace. Like the ones I used to make you when you were a boy. Do you remember?
Mother. Tonight I decide.
If you stay in Larissa, you will find peace. You'll find a wonderful woman. You'll have sons and daughters, and they will have children. And they will love you. And when you're gone, they will remember you. But when your children are dead, their children after them, Your name will be lost. If you go to Troy, glory will be yours. They will write stories about your victories for thousands of years. The world will remember your name. If you go to Troy, no, you will never come home. For your glory walks hand in hand with your doom. And I shall never see you again.
When the ice finally breaks, we will go back to Wessex and claim the land that King Egbert promised us. You know that was always my dream.
I feel my blood warming. I want to fight. I want to raid.
Why do you want to fight? What are you fighting for?
That.
What do you see?
Power. The power of a king.
Power is always dangerous. It attracts the worst and corrupts the best. I never asked for power. Power is only given to those who are prepared to lower themselves to pick it up.
Perhaps the Oracle robbed you of your desire as well.
It would take more than the words of a drunken adolescent girl to rob me of my desire for you.
Then why so distant?
Because it seems, though a slave and captive of lecherous old men, the Oracle's words could set fire to all that I love.
So that is why my king loses sleep and is forced from the warmth of his bed?
Do to save his world when the very laws he is sworn to protect force him to do nothing.
It is not a question of what a Spartan citizen should do, nor a husband, nor a king. Instead, ask yourself, dearest love, what should a free man do?
Shalom, all praises, glory, honor, and fear. YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, Ababa Ball. Judgment to all the false anointed ones, all the false brethren, and strength, salvation, health, freedom until Lord's election. Now, it's heavy because the times we're living in, there's so much things happening, like in the world, judgment, fire. The Lord said the fire shall be off-sent again in 2 Ezra 5:8. Woman shall bring forth monsters. So this world has raised a generation of vipers and serpents and beasts. And that's what we're battling against. We're battling spiritual wickedness in high places. And many evil and unclean spirits. Because when you don't listen to the Lord, that's what comes. That sickness comes. Sickness comes. So the Lord said, He said, be quick in thy business, so shall no sickness come upon thee. So people are very stagnant, and all they care, all they trust, all they know is the world and the beast and money and the system. And like a lot of these camps, right? They'll be like, oh, get a job. But the only reason they're telling you to get a job is because they want to entrap you and exploit you and take away from you, But the whole thing about, see, the Lord, he said he fulfilled a long time and a short time, and we're following his lead. So we, as the elect ones in these last days, the beloved of the Lord, but we're misunderstood and we're hated by the multitudes, we're also fulfilling a long time and a short time. And that's why, you know, elders and men that's been this truth for longer than us, they look down on us and they hate us, just like Cain did Abel. Cain was the firstborn. He murdered his brother because his sacrifice was accepted by the Lord, his wasn't. So you see these things taking place as well. And the thing is with us is that we are bound not by this world or the limitation of the world, but we're under the chain and the yoke of the Lord. The Lord said that in Ecclesiastes, put yourself under her yoke, for you shall find rest. You're going to find a beautiful thing for being a true servant of the Lord. He's freeing us, man. And we're not just saying this and doing videos. The Lord's actually doing these things for us. So the most important thing about this walk isn't resources. It isn't money. It isn't anything of the world. It's actually things that are not of the world, which is what? Trust, faith, belief, works, being examples to the flock. And that's what's going to get us to our kingdom. Wisdom brings us to a kingdom. So Peter, he said, your money, your gold and silver perish with thee. So money and all that, that's not going to save anyone. But what's going to save us is our faith and our works, which we're doing. You see? So the wicked, they're under a chain, but it's a chain of death. It's a chain of sin, bondage, slaves of sin. You see, like I went to that lesson the other day. Psalms 73 in verse 6 says, therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covered them as a garment. Now, when you go to Romans, see, and if you're really in the Spirit, the Holy Ghost, then you're very excited. You're grateful. You're thankful, and you're in the moment right now. And we're in a very special moment of time of freedom, of power, of supernatural things. Oh, and the main thing I want to say, of miracles, and that's like the biggest thing about this walk, about this truth, is the miracles, the strange act that the Lord's going to perform, that he is performing, you know, being gathered in the clouds, the UFOs, which are the chariots of the Lord. They're identified to us. The Lord, he's known to us, just like we're known to the Lord. So this is Romans 6 in verse 18. Being then made free from sin. Being then made free from sin, ye became the servants of righteousness. Heavy. It says, I speak after the manner of men because of the infirmity of your flesh, which infirmity, this word means physical or mental weakness, right? Our people are weak. The Lord said that in Corinthians, for this cause, for this reason, many are sick, weak among you. They're not strengthened by the word. See, the word, YAHAWASHI, his sacrifice, the atonement for sins, that's not enough for our people. That's not enough. They need to see something. They need to have something in their hand, you know? Just like Thomas, I need to see your hands. I need to see the holes. I need to see this and I see that. That's not faith. And it's impossible to please the Lord without faith. You have to have faith. And so what we're holding is something very powerful. We're holding a weapon. We are the weapon. And by our words and by our actions and our words aligning with our actions, not just saying it, but actually doing the things we're saying, we're pulling this place down, man, through the Spirit. It says, for as ye have yielded your members servants to uncleanness and to iniquity, unto iniquity, even so now yield your members servants to righteousness and unto holiness. So we are the third temple of the Lord. And the Lord said it's our reasonable service to make our body a living sacrifice unto the Lord. So the Lord, he's only gathering those, Psalms 50 and verse 5, those that have made a covenant, right, the new covenant, The Lord's only gathering those that have made a covenant with the Lord by sacrifice, by giving things up, by letting things go. And that's what a lot of you guys in these camps, elders, even dudes in the new covenant that say repent in the new covenant every day, they haven't really let things go. They haven't really forsaken all. And that's what the Lord said. Matter of fact, let me go there. In Luke. All right, Luke 14 and verse 33. So likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he have, he cannot be my disciple. See, Lord, you're not profitable for the master's use. You know, there's nothing else you can do for Yahawashi. Yahawashi can't pour into you. He can't use you to raise the dead and cleanse the sick and heal the lepers and you know, raise our people up. Do miracles. This thing is about miracles. That's what Yahawashi was doing. Luke 14:34. Salt is good, but if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be seasoned? So you have to know what time it is. It is neither fit for the land, nor yet for the dunghill, but men cast it out. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. Right? So the Lord, he's casting out many that are being unprofitable and not doing what he really said. So in the end, it's manifest. In the end is a trial of all men. The test to see if you're really gold or not. And a lot of guys aren't gold. They're fake gold. You see? Matter of fact, let me get this as well. You know, for all those that say, oh, you know, you let me get this in Daniel. Right here it is, right here. Check this out. Daniel's 5 and 7. Check this out, man. Daniel's 5 and 7. See, the elect, we have the real chain. You know, like these rappers, right? They'll be talking all this shit. Oh, I fucked your woman and I killed this nigga and I killed, you know, they're saying all this wickedness in their rap songs and shit. And look how blessed, I won't say blessed, but look at how much riches they get. Fake riches. Because they don't have their soul no more. You see? They don't belong to themselves. They don't belong to the Lord. Something else possesses them, which is the devil. Understand? So, you know, but really the elect were the gold. The Lord said in Matthew 23, the gold doesn't sanctify the temple. The temple sanctifieth the gold. So us as a temple, we're the ones that are sanctifying the true riches that are going to last. Let me get this. One of the brothers put it on the timeline today. Ecclesiastes 40 in verse 10. And Esau, this world, they're not going to last with how they treat people. Very corrupt, very evil. And also our own people, the 2/3 of our people in and outside this truth, they're not going to abide forever by how they treat the Lord, his business, and how they treat their neighbor or anything like that. So when you go to Ecclesiastes 40 and verse 12. Let me start at verse 11. It says, all things that are on the earth shall turn to the earth again. So you don't want to be of the world. So you have to be born again. You have to be born from above. So your mind, right? Your heart will believe. It will think different. You'll move different. Because our life is not like other men. We're immortal men. We're omega men like Yahawashi. So Colossians 3:1, set your affection on things above, not on things beneath and of the world. You see? It says, all things out of the earth shall turn again to the earth again, and that which is of the waters doth return into the sea. All bribery and injustice shall be blotted out, but true dealing shall endure forever. The goods of the unjust shall be dried up like a river. You see that? Prophecy is being fulfilled. The Lord's drying up the river Euphrates so that the kings can be prepared for the war. This last war. The wicked are being dried up. It says, and shall vanish with noise like a great thunder and rain. I beheld Satan fall from heaven like lightning. Where the word of a king is, there is power. And who may say, what doest thou? What are you saying? What's going on? See, people, man, they mocked our Lord. They put a crown of thorns on his head. They mocked him, saying, hey, all hail, King of the Jews. But that is the truth, man. The Lord reigns among the heathen. He reigns. He rules. He's ruling everything right now. Leviticus 26 and verse 3. If ye will walk in my statutes, right? It didn't say talk about my statutes. It says walk. Actually do them. Don't be afraid of man. Don't be afraid of their threatenings. Heavy. Don't be afraid of their incredulity or their unbelief. Don't be afraid of their weakness and their doubting and them trying to limit you and slow you down and whatever it is. If ye walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit. The tree of life, that fruit, the trees Lord said ye shall eat of. And your threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time, and ye shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely. And I'll give peace in the land, and ye shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid. See, none shall make you afraid. And I'll rid evil beasts out of the land. Brute beasts made to be destroyed and taken. They were predestined and ordained to this destruction. It says, I'll rid evil beasts out of the land. Neither shall the sword go through your land. Right, this is the third part, the elect. It says, and ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. And 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight, and your enemy shall fall before you by the sword. For I will have respect unto you, and make you fruitful, and multiply you. See, Lord, he's not talking to them. He's talking to us. And see, the wicked hated that we're building up our people's faith. We're building up their confidence and their conviction of who we are. The few of us left, because everyone else is just falling away. It says, for I will have respect on you, make you fruitful, multiply you, and establish my covenant with you. And ye shall eat old store and bring forth the old because of the new. Heavy. And I will set my tabernacle among you, and my soul shall not abhor you. And I will walk among you and will be your power, and ye shall be my people. Right, the new covenant, even within the old covenant. Heavy. The fulfillment of it all. The completion of it all. So Lord said, let the Lord be your fear and dread. Don't fear the face of man. Don't fear what they say. They're all going to die in their unbelief. They're all going to die in their weak nature. Trusting in the flesh. Building up this world. Building up Egypt. Building up the beasts. Because they're fucking beasts. They're animals. They're under a chain of sin. And they don't want to get out. See, a lot of our people, they don't want to get out, really. So all of our people, they've been turned into like coons, man. They're fighting for this. They're kicking against the pricks, and they're fighting against the elect, trying to save the world, trying to save stuff in the world, trying to save their ass, trying to save their resources, trying to do this, trying to do that. Not even in the spirit, not understanding that the spirit is speaking expressly in these last days. Let me also get this. So you have 2 chains right now. You have the chain of the elect, Not the rapper 2 Chainz, all right? You have the chain of the elect, which is a good chain, and then you have the chain of the wicked, which is a bad chain. It's gonna hold you down. It's gonna hold you back. You understand? Let me explain to you something. Let me show you. Right, here it is right here. Heavy. Ecclesiastes 28 and verse 18. It says, many have fallen by the edge of the sword, but not so many as have fallen by the tongue. Right, what you say. You see? Well is he that is defended through the venom thereof, who hath not drawn the yoke thereof, nor hath been bound in her bands. For the yoke thereof is a yoke of iron, and the bands thereof are bands as brass. The death thereof is an evil death. The grave were better than it. It shall not have rule over them that fear power, neither shall they be burned with the flame thereof. You see? So all these things that are happening, they're not happening to destroy us or to oppress or limit us or sadden us. They're happening to make us gold. Like Job said, I know that when I am tried, I shall come out as gold. It says, such as forsake the Lord shall fall into it, and it shall burn in them and not be quenched. It shall be sent upon them as a lion and devour them as a leopard. You see, so the Lord said, what did the Lord say? He said, take my yoke upon, not man's yoke. Not what man says. Man lie. And they lead you away from the Lord, away from your true purpose. And it's heavy because like even the disciples had trouble with this at times, like with Paul, with YAHAWASHI and Peter. They were trying to stop them from going to Jerusalem, stop them from going places and fulfilling things and standing up and setting their face against the last enemy, which was all these wicked men that made covenants with death. The wicked, you see? And they're like, oh, don't go that. Don't do this. Don't do that, you know? That's exactly what we have to do because no one else is willing or capable or empowered or strengthened to do it by the Lord. Matthew 11 and verse 28. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. See, this world, hey, go to the world. Guess what this world's going to give you? They ain't going to give you rest. They're going to give you work. Work, and more work. And no rest. They're not going to give you no peace, no Sabbath, no joy, no time to yourself or to the Lord. They're going to take it all. And then once you're 70 or 80, then you can retire and you can go on a vacation with being on life support. The fuck out of here, man. All that shit's done with. That way of thinking, bro. Go to college, do this. That's done with, man. We redeem the time. The time is for the Lord. And that's nothing. Time is death. Time is death. And we're breaking time. We're breaking this place, man. We're breaking it down. And it's not hidden anymore. Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. We're doing exactly what the Lord wants us to do. Bringing about everlasting life and immortality, where there's no such thing as time anymore. See, that's why everything's ran on a clock. Everything is a clock. There's a time for everything here. Wake up, go to bed, go to work, do this, do that, do this. Everything that man tells you to do, or the flesh tells you to do. But what was the Spirit telling you to do? Something totally different. Stop doing that. Stop. Do this. Believe in this. Trust in me. You know what I'm saying? It says, take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. You see, because YAHAWASHI, he took the majority of it upon himself already. You see? But see, what the wicked do is that they put heavy burdens on men and they won't even lift a finger. They don't even do any, they won't even help a little bit. You see? They just put their feet up. They just relax. They chill out while you're the one that's busting your ass all that goddamn day. You see? So we're in the prophecy of the plowman overtaking the reaper. We're in the prophecy of many being offended. We're in the prophecy of being hated. You know what I'm saying? people want us to be shut up. They want us to die. They want us to throw us in jail, in prison. They, you know what I'm saying? They're trying. They want to. You know, they can't stand us. But that's why they're falling. Because the Lord is with us, causing us to stand. And he's not with them. He's not with the world. He's with us. Let me read this again. Ephesians 4 and verse 8. Wherefore he saith, when he ascended on high, up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. And the way the Lord ascended up on high was that he laid down his life, which is, there's no greater love than that. So what's hate? Hate is when you're trying to save your life. You're trying to save money. You're trying to save this and save that. That's hate. But what is love? Giving it all up. Giving it up. That's heavy. That's what true love is. Which is, this world is barren of love. This world don't have no fucking love. All it has is hate, covetousness, jealousy, envy, wrath, murder, backbiting and gossiping, talking shit. Being fucking fake. In your face, people will smile. Oh, yeah, I'm so happy. But really, in their heart, they're like, I hate you. I can't. Oh, why would you? You know? We see right through all you, man. The elect cannot be deceived. Sirach 36 and 6. And then you got this fire from Canada. And now you got the whole East Coast looking like a red dawn or something, man. That's why I use that as a picture. Because everything is happening right now. Open your eyes. Look up. Our redemption draws nigh. The harvest is already ripe to reap. You see? Show new signs and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand and thy right arm. Right, and the only one the Lord is glorifying are those that know the Lord's arm, whom the arm and the hand has been revealed to. Isaiah 57 and 1. That they may set forth thy wondrous works. Raise up indignation and pour out wrath. Take away the adversary and destroy the enemy. Right, what's the last enemy is death. And all those that love death. And I agree with death and disagree with life, YAHAWASHI, everlasting. Doesn't matter who the fuck you are, Israelite or heathen. There's no respect to persons. Mark 13 and verse 13. And ye shall be hated of all men. And then when you watch that new Spider-Man movie, man, it's a little trippy, but it's showing you all right there what's going on, man. Your family shall be enemies. You know, people trying to hold you back from what the Lord really wants you to do, which is to save life, preserve life, show people the truth about who and what we are, you know. It says, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. But when ye shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, right, it happened back then and it's happening again now. There's an abomination within the temple of the Lord. You see, which is an unrepented heart, apostasy. That's what this is going into. Men that have actually sold out. It says, standing where it ought not, let him that readeth understand, that let them that be in Judea flee to the mountains, and let him that is in the housetop not go down into the house, neither enter therein to take anything out of his house, and let him that is in the field not turn back again for to take up his garment. You see that? So there's no turning around. There's no turning back. Remember Lot's wife. Count the cost. And just like Daniel said, you know, what did it cost? Everything. It's going to cost everything. It's going to cost our life. That's what this thing is all about. And that's what a lot of guys didn't count. Didn't think it was going to get to the extreme of this point. But it has. And guys are still looking back and trying to slow things down. But it's not slowing down no more, man. It's happening all quick now. You see? Oh, you don't want to lay down your life? You don't want to forsake all? You don't want to trust in the Lord? You don't want to be a true sacrifice and really trust in the Lord and believe him and love him? And okay, well then guess what? Someone else will if you won't. That's all. The Lord raises one up and he brings one down. That's all. Lord don't need you. The Lord don't need you. We need the Lord. And a lot of y'all ain't crying out, man, because you like getting raped by this fucking beast, by this fucking dragon, this system, man. You like getting taken advantage. That's why you're not really crying out how we are daily. Not just saying and doing videos, but actually doing things to free ourselves and liberate ourselves, and also others that can see what we're doing and saying. John 6 and verse 63, it is a spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profit nothing. The words I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. Write these words. That's what we've been quickened by. Colossians 2 and 13, and you being dead in your sins and the uncircumcision of your flesh hath he quickened together with him, right, made alive, brought to life from the dead. Together with him, having forgiven you all trespasses. 1 Peter 3 and 18, for Yahawashi also hath once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust, that he might bring us to power, being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Spirit. Being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Spirit. You see that? By which also he went and preached unto the spirits in prison, which sometime were disobedient, when once the long suffering of God waited in the days of Noah, while the ark was a preparing, wherein few, that is 8 souls, were saved by water. So just how it was back then, it's happened the same thing now. The Lord had them enter into the ark 2 at a time, 2 of a kind and two at a time. That's the marriage as one. Every man, one at a time. So 1, 2 are 1. That's the marriage, the covenant. The man and woman. Heavy. The like figure, right? Just like how it was like then, is happening now. And I'm going to say this, man. Noah was building that ark and everyone was mocking him. Everyone was like, man, why you're wasting your time. The same thing guys act how we're building. But hey, just know that, hey, once it's all said and done, man, it's very near. It's a wrap for this place, man. It says, the like figure whereunto even baptism doth also now save us, right? Being fully in the Lord, not in the world. Not men pleasers. Not the putting away of the filth of the flesh, but the answer of a good conscience toward God by the resurrection of YAHAWASHI Mashiach, who is gone into heaven, right? We have to go through that way too. We're trying to get into heaven. We don't want to stay here. And is on the right hand of God, angels and authorities and powers being made subject unto him. So the elect, those of us that are the few men left, we haven't been given the spirit of fear or of bondage, but of a sound mind, of power, and of love. You see that? So yeah, Daniel, he was given a chain because he could interpret, and that's what's happening with us. Because we're interpreting the Lord in the scriptures and the parables and the signs, the writing on the wall, the Lord's exalting us in the spirit, and it's being manifest in the physical realm. And this world doesn't know how to take it. They don't know how to handle it. They're like, It says that the king cried aloud, Daniel 5 and 7. The king cried aloud to bring in the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers. And the king spake and said to the wise men of Babylon, whosoever shall read this writing and show me the interpretation thereof shall be clothed with scarlet and have a chain of gold about his neck, and shall be the 3rd ruler in the kingdom. Heavy. So Lord willing, I'll be back with another one a little bit later. We're in a very special, heavy time. Keep fighting. Keep your hands up. Keep trusting the Lord. Keep having faith. Keep building up yourself in the love of the Lord. And feed the sheep the things sufficient for them. Not anything of the tree of good and evil, but only of the tree of life, keeping their eyes single full of light, that it be not turned darkness into the world. All praises, glory, honor, and fear, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, Barakah, Kodash, Ababa Ball, repent. Hey, Shalom, pray for a few days.